Hey folks, here to the whatever guy because it really is whatever to me. Do you folks want to know about the Trump team telling Team DeSantis to take a marijuana edible for campaign stress? You guys stick around, man, and I'll talk to you guys about that. As you guys know, man, my name's Eric. I'm the whatever guy, and I usually shoot videos a couple days a week, basically keeping you guys updated in the world Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, hemp cannabis, just what's going on around. And today, man, got a real doozy for you guys. Like I normally don't get into politics, but taking a look at everything that's going on in Florida, as you guys know, I work out of Gadsden, Alabama. I'm from Alabama, but I actually live in Milton, Florida. And so a lot of the things that go on in Florida really affect what I have going on, as far as my business and the things that I do in the industry. But having said that, moving forward, it wasn't that long ago that when DeSantis first got into this race that I really thought he was the number one runner behind Trump. Like I really thought that the best ticket would be a Trump DeSantis ticket, moving down the road. But as we moved forward, it seems like everything on the Team DeSantis team is just really fucked up. Like they are giving him some like bad information for real. Like these people need to understand, these representatives need to understand that when they go up and they get elected, these people they're not allowed to vote their conscience. Like they are supposed to vote the conscience of the voters that voted them in. Like you work for us, and it really pisses me off that these guys get up here and they look really good in some stances, and then they move forward, and it's almost like their team is advising them in the wrong way or whatever the case is, and they end up going in the wrong direction. And as you guys know, two out of every three voter in the state of Florida wants recreational marijuana brought forward. But here we have obviously, DeSantis, probably one of the more famous governors that we ever had in Florida, really makes a stand on things that are really conservative. But this issue right here is what's killing his campaign. And we're going to move over to an article over here at Marijuana Moment. We're going to check it out. But my advice to Team DeSantis is like fire everybody, like fire all your fucking advisors and hire somebody like me. That's an everyday American to guide you in what you got going on, because like you are completely going against your voters, especially with this move right here. And then we find out that he's going to these other states that are legalizing recreational marijuana, and obviously he wants those people in those legalized states to vote for him for fucking president. And as you guys can tell, I don't know if you guys watch political news and stuff like that, but DeSantis numbers were skyrocketing out of the park when he first started, but now they're stagnant, they're not moving, and there's no way that DeSantis is ever going to get elected president. Like it's not even possible. Like it's like what he should have done is cuddled up to Trump, became the vice president. We would have had Trump for 4 more years, and then we could have had DeSantis for 8 years after that, after he ran for the thing. But obviously, his advisor team, man, must be working for Biden, because he really went off the rail, and he's just not the guy that anybody's going to vote for right now. Like I don't even know why he's even in this race right now, or why people even giving him money, because he's not going to win. Like there's no way he's going to win, especially with the flip flopping that he has done on this marijuana ballot that we're fixing to talk about. It says the Trump campaign took a swipe at 2024 Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, urging the Florida governor to pick up some marijuana edibles while visiting Nevada to de-stress from the race. Stephen Chung, spokesperson for the former President Donald Trump, made the comments on Saturday, remarking on the stagnant polling numbers for DeSantis. Maybe Ron should consider visiting a smoke shop and buy some edibles to take the stress away. Something DeSantis strategist Jeff Rowe should know about, since he's lobbying for marijuana legalization in Iowa. Like he's okay. So here's the thing: like Ron DeSantis is out here in Iowa, and he's lobbying to become president in a state where people are trying to get marijuana legalized. The hypocrisy of it doesn't even make any sense to me. Like he wants those fucking voters that want marijuana legalized in their state to vote for him, but he doesn't want the voters apparently in Florida that want legalization. I don't understand. It's a confusing situation. Like it doesn't even make any sense to me. Like you're like brushing the head of one kid and slapping the head of slapping him on the back of the head behind it. It doesn't make any sense. DeSantis is unlikely to take Trump campaign official up on this recommendation, as the governor opposes cannabis legalization and said he thinks marijuana smells putrid. Putrid. That said, an edible might not carry the same pungent odors he dislikes. And while Chung sought to link Nevada marijuana products to the DeSantis strategist's alleged lobbying activity in Iowa, Rowe isn't listed on the state's lobbyist database, and marijuana remains illegal in the state for recreational purposes, despite it being largely surrounded by other states that have enacted legalization. Rowe's lobbying from Axiom Strategies, which has received millions from the pro-DeSantis Never Back Down super PAC, has also been paid millions by a campaign to put a marijuana legalization initiative on Florida's 2024 ballot, as Politico reported. So it's possible the Trump spokesperson Chung got the states mixed up in his remarks, and he may have done that. He may have got him mixed up in his remarks. But I find it funny that the money, a lot of the money that is going from pro DeSantis super PAC is going towards this Axiom Strategies, who is working for Team DeSantis, and he is completely against marijuana legalization. But this Axiom Strategy has also received a bunch of money to get on another business deal to get marijuana legalized in the state of Florida, where Ron DeSantis happens to be governor. I mean, who can even make any sense of that? In any case, neither Trump or DeSantis are personally cannabis enthusiasts, though the former president did express some openness to modest reform during his time in office. Though his first attorney general did rescind Obama-era guidance that advised prosecutors to generally not intervene in state cannabis laws, he's also taken a particularly aggressive stance on other drug policy issues, including calling for the execution of people who sell illicit substances. DeSantis, meanwhile, has vowed that he would not legalize marijuana if elected president. In August, he argued contrary evidence that the reform has actually increased the size of the illicit market in Colorado. Now, this is DeSantis commenting on what's going on in another state. Like, we've got enough shit going on in our state, like to worry about. Like, you've got time to worry about what's going on in Colorado. That doesn't even make any sense to me. DeSantis' opposition to cannabis legalization, despite recent surveys showing increasing bipartisan support for the reform, is not new, but is part of the official scattered record on the issue that comes as he fights to maintain his second place status in the race for Republican presidential nomination. On the policy side, for example, a bill DeSantis signed that took effect in Florida in July expanded medical marijuana advertising and manufacturing restrictions to prohibit any products or messages that promote recreational cannabis use, while adding more stringent eligibility requirements for workers in the industry. He separately signed a measure in June that prohibits sober living facilities from allowing residents to possess or use medical marijuana, even if the patient is certified by a doctor to legally use cannabis therapeutically in accordance with state law. All other doctor-prescribed pharmaceutical medications may be permitted, however. So I'm not even sure what a sober living facility is. I'm assuming it's some sort of rehab, but those people that are in those sober living facilities are allowed to take any fucking prescription drug that they want, but they're not allowed to take the prescription drug of marijuana if they are prescribed it, which makes no sense to me again. Also in June, the governor signed legislation banning sales of any consumable hemp products, including cannabis chewing gum, to people under 21, an expansion of an existing prohibition on young people being able to purchase smokable hemp. Another bill that DeSantis signed in June did recently result in 2 black farmers in Florida being awarded long-awaited medical business licenses. Guys, it seems like to me that DeSantis is really all over the board on this marijuana legalization. Like, he wants to allow certain things and he wants to block other certain things. I really believe that his advisors are screwing him up. Like, he needs to fire his whole team and get rid of them. Like, I would hire normal, everyday, whatever guy type people to run your fucking campaign, man, and you would be much better off, because obviously this situation right here is what's killing your campaign. Like, you're lobbying in states that are obviously wanting recreational marijuana. You're lobbying in those states and you want those people to vote for you, but then you're governor of Florida and you're doing this, you're doing the exact opposite in the state of Florida. Like, these people, 2 out of 3 voters in the state of Florida want recreational marijuana, and those are the people that voted you in, bro. It's not your fucking conscience that has anything to do with this. You work for us, and you're supposed to basically vote the way that your voted constituents want you to vote, and you're not doing that. And so that's probably why you're never going to be elected president, period. Like, you're not going to be elected president. You're not going to be anything good until you get rid of whatever you got going on. My personal recommendation to you is to get a hold of Andy Frisella at First Farm Nutrition up in St. Louis, Missouri. He runs a big podcast. He's a realist. I would get someone like him on your team, man, to point you in the right direction, because obviously your team is really steering you in the wrong direction. And I promise you, this one thing right here is what's going to kill you. You have flip-flopped so much, and you don't have a hardline strategy on anything. It would probably be a little different if you took the hardline strategy and then followed it up with no hypocrisy, but that's not what's going on here. You're basically trying to kill marijuana, the marijuana initiative in your own state, while you want to go over here and lobby for these voters that want marijuana in the other states to vote for you. Like, it's not going to happen, bro. Like, I don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Like, what you should have done is cuddled up, like I said, to Trump, and became the vice president, and then you would have had an opportunity later to become president after we saw what type of shit you're doing. But right now, you flip-flop too much. Like, your legal team, whoever your advisors are basically advising you in the wrong direction. All right, folks, this is Whateverguy signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. I hope everybody appreciates the video, and I apologize for ranting, and I'll see you guys later, man. Love you. See you.